What exactly do they mean by building fighters in the sport of boxing? I'll explain it to you. Let's talk.
Straighter, not
Yep.
a roundhouse right hand.
And that's what we've been talking about. The straight shot is the one where he gets leverage on it.
I don't want to kill
Pull
somebody
back
for
a
a
little
few
bit.
seconds.
Nah, I want a body on my record.
Now I want to see you fight, motherfuckers. I do. All right, I'm with you. I'm with you. As long as you're trying to fight the great, the best competition.
The cliche term is to build this fight, build that fight, and build this fighter and build that fight. Do you guys know how they build them? Have you guys looked at BoxRec resumes? They build fighters by putting you in fights, a bunch of fucking bums, as many as they can give you. As many bums as they can give you, all fighters, as many bums as they can give you, they flood you with bums. They flood you as many as they can give. There is very, very few fighters who don't have a lot of bums on their resume. Although I don't like Lomachenko like that, he is one of the very few that does not have barely any bums on his resume. Barely any. Like, most fighters have a boatload of straight bums, and then they get to a level where they use these terminologies, right? They'll say he's a prospect, which is cap, but they'll call him a prospect so you could just fight a bunch of bums and build your resume. Now you got all these names on your resume. You're 20 something. Look at Jerron Boots Ennis, and I like Boots. His resume is ass, bro. That man hasn't really fought absolutely nobody, bro. This is no knock on the man. It just is what it is. I like Boots, bro. I think Boots is the goods. But look at his resume, though. Just go look through all these guys. They feed you a bunch of names that are not on your level. That they feed you a bunch of names that they just pay $5,000, $2,000 so that you can beat them. Right? And you build your confidence up as now you're some type of killer, you're some type of monster, you're some type of this and some type of that, right? And then they start to give you a little bit of competition that is a little bit tougher, right? To see if you can do something with them. And if you win, how you win, if you knock them out or if you destroy them, if you outbox them easily or whatever, then they'll give you a little bit stiffer competition, right? And then if you do that, then your competition level starts rising and rising and rising. And depending on how you do with that level of competition, you'll ultimately get to the top level of competition, where everybody should be at anyway. You'll ultimately get there, and then bam, now you'll start to have your career where you only fight once a year. But when you're prospect phase and you're in the beginning of your career, when they're building you, moving you right, they're going to give you a million bums. And you're going to think that you're the shit because you're just knocking out these bums. You're just beating bums and annihilating bums, outboxing them, washing them. And then you're going to be running around this motherfucker talking about how you the goods and nobody can beat you. I'm the champ, can't nobody beat me, on some Clubber Lang type shit. Then they're going to give you an international belt, an intercontinental belt, a ultra instinct ballistic belt. Yeah, they're going to give you some type of belt, some type of title. The fentanyl belt, the Fed card belt, whatever. They're going to give you some type of belt to make you feel like you're the champ. You can just, oh man, I want everybody. These guys ain't ready for me. Yeah, so when they're building fighters, they're building confidence. You either got the skill or you don't. But they're building confidence. That's what they're building when they say they're building fighters. They want you confident when you get to the level of fighter that you're supposed to be at, right? The level of fighter that your skill set is. The skills that you naturally have, when you start fighting that level of fighter, That's the same level of fighter you could have actually started to fight when you first got into boxing, because that is a skill level that you are. You're just honing things and tightening things. But that is that's what you got. That's you. Talk about, oh, well, you growing into your man strength. Man, cap. Fuck you talking about growing into your man strength. And people actually believe this shit. You're growing into your man strength. Like, listen, you're going through puberty, and then when you go through puberty, you're gonna go through man strength. And then, you know, that's when it, bro, stop it, bro. Stop it. Stop it. You either got power or you don't. And if you got power and you're not punching correctly, well, then your punches won't have the power that they should have because you're not punching correctly. You're punching like this. It's elbow shits. You're not turning your punches. If you're turning your punches, then you're punching correctly. If you're punching correctly, then you'll generate power. If you were just born with ungodly fucking destructive power, then it doesn't matter how you punch. But if you punch correctly, it'll show. The motherfuckers running around here talking about, you know, we got to build them. You're not building fighters, bro. You're not. You're building a fighter's confidence in fighting. But the fighter can fight. That fighter can already fight. They can already fight. They can always fight. You're just building confidence that they can be a boxer. You're not building fighters, bro. You're not. That's absolute cap. You're giving these guys a bunch of fucking bums so you can build their confidence up to get them to a level where you want to get them at, where you can start maximizing your dollar and your return on the investment that you did. You're not building anybody. You're just maximizing your dollar. Yeah, you see somebody who you know can fight. You already know they can fight. And you start investing in them because you know they can fight. So you start investing in them so that you can get them into a certain position so that you can start getting paid off of them. That is the building of boxers. That's how you build the fighter. You put him in there with some guy with 30 losses, 40 losses, 5, 6, 7 losses, 1 win. And you give him about 10 of those guys. 0 losses, all debuts, give them about 10, 15 of those. And then you move up the level of competition. Now they got 5, 10 wins and 4 or 5 losses, 20 wins, 17 losses. You give them about 5 of those guys. They get 20 wins, 15 wins, 30 wins, 40 losses, 35 losses. Their punching power is like, their knockout ratio is like 5, 10, 15. So they ain't really got no punching power, but they got a lot of fights now. You start them out with a whole bunch of fucking bums. 1-0, 2-0, 0-6, 0-5, debut, 0-1, 0-6, debut, 0-5. Yeah, you start them out with those, give them about 10, 15 of those. Now they got their confidence up that they can actually do these things. You know, they got their confidence up. They're prospects. They're knocking these guys out. And everybody's like, yo, he a killer. Man, he a monster, man. Look what he did to this guy, bro. This shit was crazy. Did you see this? Yeah, but that guy's a fucking bum. Straight garbage. 0-6, 0-7. Then the next thing you know, you step them up. Now they're fighting 15-4, 25-18, 36-30. Yeah, they're fighting those guys. Give them about 10, 15 of those. Now they got about 20 fights. About 20 fights now. Now they're running around telling the world, oh man, I'm the goods. Can't nobody beat me. I'm the man. I'm skilled. And then you got people on YouTube and you got people in articles and interviews that are all part of the machine. They'll be like, yo, look at this guy, man. This guy's the goods. This guy that. This guy this. This guy that. When all that guy fought is absolute bums and garbage. But they're undefeated, though. They're undefeated now. Undefeated. 20-0. Undefeated. Have literally fought nobody. And then their next fight, now you step them up again from the prospect to the old vets to now a contender. Now they're fighting contenders. All a contender is a guy that already went through the bum phase and the old veteran phase, fighting old veterans. 30-13, 25-18. That's all those contenders are, bro. That's it. You got you're 20-0. You fought absolutely nobody, but you beat them all. You've had a couple of David Avanesians way past their fucking prime, way past anything. Got a couple of them on your resumes. Yeah, now you move on. Now you want to sprinkle in a guy who is now 20-0, undefeated. 18 knockouts. All bums. With a couple of old vets. Now you done got these guys now. Now you want to maybe put your guy who is 20-0 with all bums, 18 knockouts versus against this guy right here who is 25-0 with 10 knockouts. All bums. Now you go put those guys together. And whoever comes out on top of that, you can say, oh man, he the man, dog. He beat an undefeated fighter, man. This guy was good. He good. He good, man. He good. He beat an undefeated fighter. He was 20-0, BF. He good. Now you've got this guy who's 20-0, beat about 10-15 straight garbage bums, beat about maybe 5-10 washed up old nobodies with 10 losses but 30 wins. 20 victories, 15 losses. Yeah, you beat about 10 of those guys. Then they put you in there. Now they step you up. Step up your level. Now they step you up. Now you're fighting another guy who just happens to be just like you. Y'all both undefeated though. Or maybe this guy got 1 loss or 2 losses now, but the same type of resume. Y'all fuck around and fought some of the same fucking people, and you might have lost. You might have beat the same people that this guy might have lost to. One of those, those step up guys, those 30-13s, 30-35s, those 20-18s. Yeah, they might have lost to one of those guys. They got 1 loss now, but now their 1 loss, they want to either use you to get back into that win column to say, oh, I beat a good fighter, or you beat them. They only have 1 loss, so now they're a good fighter. So they can fucking manipulate you guys, because they don't tell you who the motherfuckers beat unless you actually go look and dive into their resumes. Nah, they don't tell you that shit. They leave that shit alone. But what they will do is say, he's undefeated. He's only got 1 loss. But they won't tell you who the fuck that 1 loss is. They'll just say he's only got 1 loss. Oh, look at his knockouts, man. Look at his knockout ratio. He's knocking motherfuckers out. Yeah, he's got an 85% knockout ratio. Yeah, but then look who he fought. Look who he knocked out. And then you look who they knocked out. And 20 of the 21 motherfuckers that he knocked out, 20 have been getting annihilated before. Straight knockouts. They're just getting blasted. And one motherfucker that wasn't was 0-1 and no longer fights anymore. They have 1 fight on their resume. It was you, and they don't fight anymore. They're now inactive. They're 0-1, but they've never been knocked out. You are the only knockout they've ever had. You knocked them out. Nobody else never knocked them out, but they're only 0-1, or maybe 2-0. You knocked them out. They're 2-1. You knocked them out, and then they knocked someone else out, and then they went the distance with somebody else, and then never fought again. There is a boatload of those guys, but that's how you build them up. And then you take that fighter that's undefeated and you sell him to the public. Like, yo, this guy right here, I'm telling you right now, he got next. This is the one right here. Sell that dude to the public. Then the public starts looking at him. They don't do no research. They just take your word for it because you said so. Because you're supposed to be a boxing insider. So they take your word for it and run with it. Oh, man, this guy right here, the goods, man. Because so-and-so said so. Because this guy said so. Because that guy said so. Nobody's doing no research at all. There's going to be people that come out of that. Devin Haney was one of the ones came out of that. Shit, his resume when he started out was mad Mexican bums. But he fought his way out, stepped in. There's people are going to rise to the top, bro. They're going to rise to the top. you're going to rise. Floyd Mayweather had all these guys fought, but everybody did. But that's how you build fighters. You build their confidence. They can either fight or they can't. And they can fight before they were boxers. Right? And then you give them these guys, they beat these guys, you step up their level of competition, they beat those guys, you step up that level of competition again, they beat those guys, now they're on world-class level. They're beating those guys on world-class level. But the thing about it is, they could always beat world-class level. Lomachenko is proof of that. He's proof of that. I don't give a damn about his amateur resume. Don't mean shit. That amateur resume don't mean anything. Oh, no, it does mean something. No, it doesn't, because it doesn't count. It's like being a juvenile getting arrested. It doesn't count when you're an adult. It doesn't count at all. Unless you did some fucking murder or some shit like that and you in jail or something. If you did stupid ass shit when you was a child, bro, that stupid ass shit doesn't count when you become an adult, bro. At all. So you're not going to tell me that your amateur resume counts. Now you can look back on it and say, man, when I was a kid, I did this dumb shit. Or you can look back on it and say, oh man, when I was an amateur, man, I was the greatest. You can look back on it, but it doesn't mean anything to the pros. It doesn't mean anything to the pros. It's like looking at a motherfucker like LeBron James, bro. Like, oh, LeBron James, you didn't go to college, bro. But look at him now. He didn't need to go to college. He didn't need to go to college. Look at him now. Kobe Bryant, you didn't go to college. Rest in peace to the mama. He didn't need college. Kevin Garnett didn't go to college. Didn't need it. Didn't need it. And some people did go to college, like Shaq. You could say he needed it. Maybe he didn't. You could look at Lou Alcindor. I mean, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, it's the same person. Look at him. Maybe he didn't need it, but he went. But it's one of those things it's not indicative. It doesn't define you as a fucking professional, bro. It doesn't define you. Motherfucking Kyrie Irving did 1 year in college, bro. And he didn't even do a full year. And was still, the number 1 pick? And is killing it in the NBA. No, you can't sit here and tell me, oh man, you're amateurs. Amateurs what? It doesn't mean anything, bro. Joey Gonzalez beat Gervonta Tank Davis. Joey Gonzalez beat him in the amateurs. What the fuck does that mean right now in the pros? Nothing. Now, I've talked about people who beat somebody in the amateurs, but I've only did it just to be petty. It was just to be petty. Shit, I've talked about motherfucking Ugas beating Bud and motherfucking couple other motherfuckers beating Bud. Danny Garcia beating Bud in the amateurs. It's a factual statement. It happened, but it doesn't mean shit in the fucking pros. Doesn't mean anything, bro. It happened in the amateurs, but in the pros is the shit that counts. The amateurs only matters to motherfucking your parents and shit like that. Motherfuckers that was there watching that shit. The pro shit counts. Why Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney was such a fucking shitty situation, because they're 3-3 in the amateurs. The pro shit is the only thing that should have mattered, and Ryan fucking cheated, bro. He cheated when it fucking mattered. That's why it matters so fucking much. But again, this is all into the building of the fighter. I'm building my fighter. Yeah, you're the promoters and the managers that build fighters for what? For them. They're not building the fighter for the fighter. They are building the fighter for them to reap the reward. If I am Canelo's manager and I've built Canelo up, I've put him in all these positions. That's why Oscar De La Hoya was so pissed off. Oh, and all these things that you did, you got everything for me. Remember when Oscar De La Hoya was shitting on Canelo Alvarez because talking about he made him? Yeah, that was Oscar's return on his investment. That's why Oscar was so pissed off. Because that was the return on Oscar's investment. That's why Floyd Mayweather was fucking pissed off at Tank Davis, because that's the return on Floyd's investment. That's why Floyd Mayweather is out here gassing up any fighter he can fight. You don't hear him gassing up Shakur no more. He damn sure was gassing up Shakur Stevenson when he was trying to sign Shakur Stevenson. But you don't see him gassing Shakur no more. This nigga's gassing Keyshawn Davis. I wonder why. I wonder when Keyshawn Davis's contract runs out. Yeah. Yeah, that's a return on his investment. Gassing up Kamel Moulton, a return on his investment. I'm not gassing him up for them. Nah, he's gassing those guys up for him. He's building them for him. That's his investment. That's why I was so pissed off at Devin, because Devin was his investment. He's building Devin for him, his investment. Y'all don't have to believe whatever. I don't. It don't matter to me. This is the reality. Go look at these motherfuckers' box wrecks. These motherfuckers ain't coming out the jumping right off the porch and right into the smoke like that. Nah, motherfuckers is getting built up and built up and built up and with bums. And then they step up their level of competition. Now all that is a mental thing. It's all mental. To build your confidence up, brother. Y'all could either fight or you couldn't. You could either fight or you couldn't. You could always fight or you could never fight. There is no in between. You either could or you couldn't. You either could or you couldn't. These fighters were built. Their confidence was built. Yeah, you can fight. I know you can fight. Let me build your confidence. Let me put you in here with this guy and this guy. You beat this guy. You beat this guy. Build your confidence up. Okay, now you're starting to believe that you can beat these guys. So I'm gonna raise your level of competition. You beat this guy. Okay, shit. Now I believe you can beat these guys. Because at first, I'm just doing this to build your confidence. Now your confidence up, so you believe you can beat these guys. So now I'm going to raise your competition level a little bit higher, and you beat them. So shit, now I believe you can beat those guys. Shit, now you're on a level where we both believe you can beat these motherfuckers. We both believe it now. Shit. And we're both getting paid. But a lot of these fighters who are nice like that could always fight. They could always fight. Always. Always. The fighters right now who are at the top level, the elite of the elites, the Devins, the Tanks, you know what I'm saying? The motherfuckers like that, they could always fight. Always. Them being built up, giving them soft touches, soft level, and then now it's a little bit tougher. Now we're putting you up here, and now you're at elite level. They could have came in at elite level. The only difference from them coming in at elite level and from where they came in was the mentality. That's it. Building a fighter, you're not built. They already have the skill, bro. A lot of these, majority of them have God-given skills already. They've been fighting their whole lives. They just needed somebody, trainers, to hone their skills and tighten it up. That's all they needed. Tighten up your skills. You could always fight. They could always fight. This is the reason why I don't believe in prospects. I don't believe in contenders. I don't believe in none of that shit. No, you could always fight, bro. You're a professional. When you get into this boxing shit, when you turn pro, you're a pro. You are a pro. If you're good, you're good. Doesn't matter. You could be 1-1, 1-0. Like Vasil Lomachenko was 1-1 and fought Gary Russell. Undefeated Gary Russell. 1-1. The fuck? Or 2-1 or 2-0 or some shit. Or no, he was 2-1. Whatever he was, 1-1 or 2-1, whatever. You fighting Gary fucking Russell. And then you continue to go on to fight number one after number one after number one after number one. Top 5, top 2, top 3. Because he could always fight. He could always fight. Always. Just like the rest of these elite level fighters, they could always fight. They just needed somebody to build their confidence. That's what building a fighter is building your confidence. Putting you in there with bums, letting you beat on some fucking bums, and then when you raise the level of this competition, now I'm gonna put you in there with some people who got 10, 15 losses, but they also got 20 wins. They've been in there, they've done that. Now you beat them, you beat people that have been there and done that, that raises your level of confidence. Now you're like, shit, I beat people that have been there and done that. I'm ready for these guys. Then you fight those guys that you're ready for, that you've been ready for. When you started, you was ready for, but you fight them then you beat them. Now you're that guy. Now motherfuckers is looking to gun at you. But what did you do? You literally could have fought those guys when you very first came into boxing, because either you could fight or you can't, like Abdullah Mason. Abdullah Mason can fight those guys. He can fight the top guys right now. I don't care if he got dropped. So what? It's like someone playing basketball, talk about ain't nobody never dunked on me. So the fuck what? So what if you got dunked on? It's 2 points. So what? So what if you got dropped? So what? It's boxing. You're going to get knocked down sometimes. It's going to happen. So what? So how did you respond? How did you respond? Dylan Mason responded like he was supposed to respond. He's ready, bro. He don't need to be fighting these fucking bums and step up fights and blah blah blah. The fuck step ups. He don't need to be doing this, bro. He's ready. There shouldn't be any reason for a step up fight unless you took a loss, a fair and square loss, and you lost some confidence. That should be the only reason for those. That's it. And you need to get some confidence back. So then you fight some fucking people who are not on your level and you get them out there to build your confidence that you can beat them all fucking ass again. And then you get right back into the mix. That is the only viable option that I can even fathom for a step up fight. It will be a get back fight, not a step up fight. If you either can fight or you can't. And for people right now watching this video, who rock with Tank, who rock with Shakur, who rock with whoever, Tio or Loma or Gary Antoine or whoever you rock with, right? Bivol, Better BF, Canelo, Floyd Mayweather. You're not going to tell me that those guys needed to fight fucking bums. They didn't. They were always good. They didn't need to fight fucking bums. They could have came right into this thing fighting a level of competition that was on par with what they were. They didn't get anything out of it. They didn't get nothing. These guys, the Devin Haney's, the Tank Davises, are you guys telling me that Tank Davis wasn't ready to fight fucking top guys when he first came into boxing? He was. It was a mental thing. That's what he was talking about. They're trying to set me up to fight motherfucking Mario, not Pedraza, but Pedraza. They're trying to set me up to fight Pedraza and all this other. No, he was ready. He had the skill to fight these guys. He just wasn't mentally ready. Mentally, it wasn't skill thing. It was a mental thing. They had to build up the man's mental. Like most fighters, they had to build up their mental. They're building up the mental. You got the skill. You put the work in the gym. You know what you can do. It's the getting in the ring and getting out your mind. That's what they built. Now you know you got into the ring and you did this. That's what the experience is. You getting into the ring, knowing that you can do your profession. That's the experience. It's just more, you're mentally fit now. You're more mentally fit to do what you believe you can do. That's it. That's what building the fighter is. It's building the mental. I need you guys to just think about it. Just fucking think about it. Devin Haney, Tank Davis, Lomachenko, motherfuckers like that. Like, bro, they always had skill. Always. 1-0, they were skilled. 1-0. Always. So them fighting the guy that they fought when they was 1-0 compared to the guy they fought when they was 10-0, compared to the guy they fought when they was 20-0, they would beat the same guy. They would beat that guy. Absolutely would beat them. Absolutely. They always had the skill to do it. It was just a mental thing. And that's what building a fighter is building your mental, not your skill, because you already had the raw talent. You needed somebody to tighten it up, but it was your mental. That's all it was. And that's what building a fighter is. And at the end of the day, they build fighters. The managers and the promoters build fighters to their benefit. That's the reason why they always talk about, I'm not going to move them so fast. I'm not going to move them so fast. I'm not going to... Fuck out of here, bro. What do you mean you're not going to move them so fast? You're not going to move them so fast because you don't want to get your fighter ruined. It's a mental thing. Not the skill. It's not the will. It's the mental. You're building up a fighter's mental capacity to make them believe that they can compete at the top level that you already know they can compete at, or you already believe they can compete at. You want to build their belief in themselves that they can compete. And when they believe that they can compete, then you can raise your level of belief, or you can change your level of belief to knowing. You no longer believe, you know. This isn't difficult, but they're going to tell you all these different type of stuff. No, you got to build a fighter like this. This is how you do it. You don't want to ruin your fighter and put him in there with a good opponent, and then he lose to a good opponent. And then when he lose to a good opponent, what? You lose to a good opponent, and then what? Is your fucking career over because you lost to a good opponent? It's not. Didn't Bernard Hopkins lose his fucking very first fight? Sambo Hopkins, didn't he lose that? His first or second or some shit like that? He did. The fuck you guys talking about, bro? Y'all have no idea what you're talking about. You're just talking because someone told you that what you're saying, yeah, that shit sound good. That's good right there. That shit sound good. That's how you build them, man. You know boxing. You know boxing. That's how you build a fight, man, because you know boxing. Absolutely pathetic. Fucking pathetic, man. Building a fighter is super simple. You build their mental, you got a fighter. You build a guy who has the skill already. Build him who has the skill. You got him. You good. It's a mental thing. Mental, not physical. BFTB, man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. And I'm out. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, share. Subscribe to my Patreon. And if you feel like supporting me, please support me in the PayPal or the Cash App.